Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome back to Kelly Reads Books. I have about 20 books that I've hauled in July, and I want to just share a little bit about those books and why I picked them up and why they're going on my TBR. The first place I went was a little bookshop called City Square Books and Music in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and I found some great deals there. I have just read Emily Henry's Beach Read, and I also have, what is the book? People We Meet on Vacation. I have that in my TBR. But when I got there, I saw this book, Book Lovers, and I love a book set with bookish related stuff. And this book is about a agent and an editor that keep running into each other, and at the end it says, in a series of coincidences, they're thrown together again and again that no editor worth their salt would allow. What they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. That sounds like a great read. I really enjoyed Emily Henry's book, Beach Read. I liked the banter back and forth, and if this is anything like it, I'm really going to enjoy that. The main reason I went to this bookstore was I was looking for the prequel to Lonesome Dove, and I also wanted to pick up some thriller reads. I've just really started getting into thrillers and I'm having a blast. Right now I'm in the middle of Such a Nice Girl by Andrea Mara, and I went to get it on audiobook so I could tandem read it and found out that I got it from Blackwell's in the UK as a pre-order, but it doesn't come out in the US until March 2027. So I'm really enjoying that book, and I'll have more on that when I do my July reading wrap-up. However, I did find several good books at this bookstore and good prices as well. I picked up Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True. I don't know where I heard the recommendation for this, but I did have a recommendation for this, and it says, when a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they both worked hard to project and protect. That sounds like a great read to me, so I got this one. Lisa Jewell has come highly recommended. So I also saw this book, Then She Was Gone, and it's about a daughter who disappears, and it says, no one just disappears. I know a lot of people have read this, and there's the bookmark. It's City Square Books and Music. I really love thrillers now, and I'm just wanting to jump headfirst into all the thrillers that I can find. So the next thing I picked up, and I know this has been a motion picture, I know it's been all over the place and everybody's read it, but since I'm new to thrillers, I had not yet read The Housemaid. It talks about how she goes to clean for this family, and the family, the wife, is making messes just to watch her clean them up. And then it says at the end, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. And I know there are other books, and I think there's a sequel to this. I'm not really sure, but I've heard great things about it, so I picked this up while I was there. And then I got this book. It says right on it that it's the sequel to Lonesome Dove. I, for some reason, thought Streets of Laredo was the prequel, which is what I was looking for, and I think that's Dead Man Walking or something like that. I've got it on order. I'm going to get that first. This is not going to go right on my TBR cart because I want to read the prequel before I read the sequel. But this is a first edition. It's in like mint condition. I mean, it's just in mint condition. And I got it for $7. I think that's a good price for a mint condition first edition. So I was really excited to pick this up. I have a couple more thrillers. I picked up Freida McFadden's Divorce the day it came out. I really have heard good things about Freida McFadden. Some people say her books are hit and miss, and I hope this isn't a miss. But this is about somebody who is going through a divorce, and she gets obsessed with the husband's new girlfriend, And then she realizes that her own life may be in danger. So I'm really excited to read The Divorce. Then I have been reading the Cat and Lock series that was recommended, I believe, either by Michaela Reads or by Carly at the Pastel Bookshelf. This is a series, it's a police procedural series. The first book was In the Blink of an Eye. The second book was Leave No Trace. And this book is Human Remains, and it's all by Joe Callahan. This is a detective in the UK who's assigned in a pilot program with an AI detective. In the first book, they're solving cold cases. In the second book, they have a murder to solve. And the third book is Everybody Has Some Secrets. Some are buried deeper than others. I have thoroughly enjoyed every one of the books, or the first two that I've read. I have this one, and I will be reading this hopefully in the next month. I'm hoping that it comes out on my TBR jar pull. Next, I really want to get into some fantasy. I read T. Kingfisher's Nettle and Bone as part of the Books and Jams book club, and it was different. I liked it. I really did. I didn't know what to think. And the funny part is the beginning of it was it was all over the place to me, and I thought maybe fantasy isn't for me. But then when we had the book club, everybody said, yeah, the beginning of the book was kind of all over the place. So I want to pick up another T. Kingfisher, so I ordered Sword Heart. It says, Love is a double-edged sword. On the back it says, Sarkis knew that a kiss was a mistake the moment he did it. He kept doing it anyway. At first because stopping a kiss so quickly offended his sense of craftsmanship, and then because it felt too good to stop. Anyway, this book I'm interested in. I think I'll read this before the other fantasy book I picked up. Although you can leave me a comment in the comments below and let me know which one I should pick up first. The other book I picked up is The Fourth Wing. I think everybody's read this. A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without its dragon is dead. The only dragons I've seen was in watching Game of Thrones. So I haven't read anything like this, but I hear it's really good, and I decided that I'd pick this up as well as Sword Heart to give me some fantasy reads that I can put on my TBR. I really want to diversify my TBR, so I have some choices from all genres, and that's why I'm picking up a lot of thrillers and a lot of fantasy. I got these from thrift books. I love thrift books, and they suck me in because I buy so many books and then they give me a free book. And when I buy the free book, I buy the free book plus 3 or 4 or 5 other books. And I'm right back to the beginning with a free book. So they keep me coming back over and over again. The next book I picked up was Christina Lauren's The Paradise Problem. I don't know a whole lot about this book other than it's a couple, not a fake dating trope, but a fake marriage trope. They marry in order to get family subsidized housing at UCLA when they're in school, and then they go their separate ways. They think they're divorced, but they are not. And then when he is in the process of being the heir to a fortune, he finds out he has to be married for 5 years in order to get that inheritance. So this book is all about their relationship and a fake marriage trope, which I'm sure will turn into romance. That's the romance that I picked up. I also picked up Broken Country. I think this will be a book that I really like. This is The Farmer is Dead. He is dead, and all anyone wants to know is who killed him. A sweeping love story with the pace and twists of a thriller. Broken Country is a novel of simmering passion, impossible choices, and explosive consequences that toggles between the past and present to explore the far-reaching legacy of love. I love books with past and present point of views, so I picked this up thinking this will be a book that I really enjoy. This book, I know it was either Michaela Reads or the Pastel Bookshelf that recommended this book. This is The Chemist, and it's about a pharmacist who runs a methadone clinic that somehow gets tangled up with a drug cartel. This book, they said it was something like Breaking Bad, which really got me interested. The second book is called Kingpin, and it just came out. So I really want to read The Chemist so I can get to The Kingpin. But I heard this was great, and I'm hoping this is a 5-star read. The next book I picked up was a book I was picking up for Big Book Summer Challenge. And I don't think I'm going to get to it this summer. It's kind of big. It's The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. And it's over 1,400 pages, which doesn't intimidate me. It's just I know when I'm reading a book of this size that I'm not going to get to a bunch of other books that I want to read. But I'm just going to have to make a place for this. I'm hoping that it comes out on my TBR and doesn't give me a choice but to read it. So that was the next book that I picked up. Also on a recommendation from Michaela Reads and from the Pastel Bookshelf, I picked up Jack Jordan's Deception. Now this book is not out in the United States. I don't think it comes out till October. I could be wrong, but this is about a family in the United States that their child needs a very expensive surgery that they do not have the money for, and the lengths that they will go to in order to get the money to be able to do that surgery. I found that an interesting concept, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. The last two books on my TBR are nonfiction books. I do try to read nonfiction as often as possible. I'd like to read one nonfiction book a month. Right now I'm reading Ryan Holiday's Wisdom Takes Work as part of the Readwell Podcast Book Club. And I'm enjoying that. It's about Stoicism. But that's my nonfiction this month. I don't know which one of these I'll get to first, but this one has been a controversial book. Facebook did not want this published. It's called Careless People, A Story of Where I Used to Work, Power, Greed, Madness by Sarah Wynne Williams. And it says, the shocking and darkly funny story of one woman at the heart of one of the most influential companies on the planet. Careless People gives you a front row seat to the decisions that have shaped the world and shaped world events in recent decades and the people who make them. And it's all about the inside of Facebook. I'm really excited to read this and hoping that I can pull this in the next month's TBR. The second book I got, I just heard about this, and it's called London Falling. It's by Patrick Radden Keefe. It's a mysterious death in a gilded city and a family search for truth. I was told this is really a book, it's nonfiction, but it is a book that reads like a thriller, and that's what excited me. And reading from inside, it says, from the best-selling, prize-winning author, I can talk, of Say Nothing and Empire of Pain, a spellbinding account of a family devastated by the sudden death of their 19-year-old son, only to discover that he had created a secret life that drew him into dangerous criminal underworld that lies beneath London's glittering surface. And reading from this, the son portrayed himself as the heir to a great fortune of a Russian oligarch. I find that very interesting. And like I said, they said it reads like a thriller. So that really interests me. So that's it. I've been buying books. I don't know how to stop. It's like I think I'm going to miss out if I don't buy a book that comes highly recommended. But I think I may have to instill a book buying ban soon, because I have probably 75 books on my TBR. And these are probably going to have to go on the back of the cart because there's just no room on it anymore. It's kind of stacked and filled in. So these books will get on there and they'll get read. I'm reading about 10 books a month, so they'll get read. But I love buying books. It's part of the process. I love collecting them, and I'm looking forward to getting my bookcases behind me and getting everything situated in one spot. If you have watched till the end, let's see, what can you leave me? Leave me something purple in the comments and let me know if any of these books need to come to the top of my TBR as soon as possible. Have you read these? What did you think? And what do you recommend? Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time on Kelly Reads Books.